Welcome to the My Raggedy Herbs podcast. This podcast is for truth seekers, homesteaders, homemakers, and medicine makers who are eager to roll up their sleeves and learn how to make their relationship with God, their family, and their home their first priority. Now here's Lori Coates.
One of the things that make Oklahomans uniquely different is our life experience with tornadoes. For those who live outside of Tornado Alley, they can be an unfamiliar and frightening weather phenomenon. But to those of us who have grown up with them and experienced their devastation, we understand firsthand that tornadoes are no joking matter. We have a healthy respect for them. They are serious, and many of us have suffered extreme loss due to tornadoes. One is hard-pressed to meet a true Oklahoman who does not have an interesting or life-changing tornado story. Despite this, there are many things that we do enjoy about our tornado culture. We have a fascination, almost obsession, with chasing them and watching them, and we're able to speak tornadoese. This is a language comprised of local words that have been added to, mixed and blended with weather terminology. If you live here long enough, you don't even really have to turn on a weather report because you can tell from just stepping outside if the atmosphere feels right for something bad to happen. There's an energy in the air. It's an unfortunate matter of timing, but tornado season occurs at the same time as tomato season. Of all the garden vegetables that Oklahomans enjoy growing, I think tomatoes are at the top of the list. After a long winter of eating store-bought tomatoes, everyone is excited to get theirs planted so they can get an early jump on the much-anticipated fruit. Plenty of thought and effort goes into determining the last frost date, selecting the perfect varieties, preparing and planting the area, and other factors. Some people like to start their tomato seeds early on a seed-starting shelf. If that's you, here are some of the places that I enjoy looking for tomato seeds: Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds, Tomato Fest, Seed Savers Exchange, and Tomato Growers Supply. Others prefer to buy transplants. In the Oklahoma City metro area, there are several reputable nurseries, but some of my favorites are Markham's Nursery, TLC Garden Centers, and Precure Nursery and Garden Center. Each year as we lay out our garden plan, we allow enough room to grow plenty of our favorite varieties, but we also include space to try a few new ones. We grow hybrids, heirlooms, dwarfs, and even some micro tomatoes. It's always exciting and wonderful when the plants begin to bloom and set fruit. Life is good. Even though we plan and take plenty of precautions, I cannot tell you how many times over the years we have planted our tomatoes only to have them destroyed by the wind and hail that oftentimes accompanies tornadoes. It's strange. The season that ushers in a time of delicious, fresh tomatoes, all the goodness, is the same one that brings destruction and death. But isn't that how life goes? Along with all the good, we must understand and accept the fact that bad things happen too. James says it this way: "Consider it all joy, my brothers and sisters, when you encounter various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance. And let endurance have its perfect result, so that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." James 1:2-4. Over the season of our lives, each of us is going to experience plenty of good times, but storms will come. Plans will change. Timelines will shift, and sometimes we have to start over. When this happens, our loving Heavenly Father doesn't want us to quit, but rather to persevere and consider these situations as joyful opportunities to grow in our faith and to come out stronger. He wants us to trust Him. Replant the tomatoes. More fruit will be produced. More blessings are on the way. Storms bring frustration, but they produce endurance and righteousness when handled correctly, and they make us stronger people. Dear friend, please don't be the person who chooses to never plant tomatoes because of the possibility of the threat of severe weather. Vine-ripened tomatoes are worth the risk, and so is living a Christ-centered life that is both full of joys and trials.
The gardening information presented in this podcast is based on USDA Plant Hardiness Zone 7 for Central Oklahoma. Nothing in this podcast or on our website should be construed as medical advice. Consult your healthcare provider for your individual nutritional and medical needs. The information presented is based on our own research and is strictly that of the author and not necessarily those of any professional group or entity. For more information, please visit myraggedyherbs.com.